Have you ever sat down at a casual dining spot, expecting a fun meal with friends or family, only to leave feeling like you just wasted your time and money on food that tasted like it came from a microwave? You know, the kind of place loud music, big menus, and promises of great flavors that often fall flat. Well, today we're going to talk about those chains that might not be worth your next outing, and the two that still deliver something special. Before we get into the details, let's think about why we even go to these spots. Casual dining started as a simple way to enjoy a meal out without dressing up or spending too much. Back in the day, it was about comfort, good portions, and a relaxed vibe. Families would gather for birthdays, friends would meet after work, and it felt like a treat. But over time, many of these chains have changed. They cut corners to save costs, rely on frozen ingredients, and focus more on deals than on making food that tastes fresh. Prices have gone up, but the quality hasn't always followed. That's left a lot of people disappointed, wondering if it's better to just eat at home. Still, a few places hold on to what made them popular in the first place: real effort in the kitchen and a welcoming feel. So, if you're tired of mediocre meals, stick around as we break down the ones to skip and the ones to try. We'll look at everything from the appetizers to the service based on what people say and what we've seen over the years. Let's start with Applebee's, the chain that tries to feel like your neighborhood hangout but often ends up serving meals that leave you unimpressed. Picture this: you step into Applebee's on a Friday evening, drawn in by the colorful signs and the smell of grilling meat. The walls have pictures of sizzling dishes, and the menu offers a bit of everything: burgers, pasta, steaks, and those late-night half-price appetizers. It sounds perfect for a casual night out. But then your food arrives. The steak might be tough and chewy, like it's spent too long in the freezer. The pasta could be swimming in too much sauce, hiding noodles that lack any real bite. And those riblets, which used to be a big draw, now come across as overly sweet and sticky, without the smoky taste you expect from barbecue. Applebee's wants to appeal to everyone, and that's part of the issue. When a menu is so broad, it's hard to do everything well. Families keep showing up because the prices are reasonably, can feed a group without spending a fortune. Plus, the happy hour deals on drinks and snacks make it tempting for a quick stop. However, after a while, you start to notice that you could make something better at home for the same cost. The service adds to the mix. Sometimes you get a friendly waiter who makes the evening fun, but other times it's someone who seems distracted or rushed. In the end, Applebee's hangs on because of old memories and convenience, not because the food stands out. It's more about grabbing a cheap cocktail than enjoying a memorable dinner. But hey, everyone has that one item they don't mind, even if it's not perfect. What about you? What's the Applebee's dish that still gets a pass in your book? Now, let's move on to Chili's, where the promise of bold tastes and fun vibes often turns into a letdown. You walk in and the place is alive, with the sound of sizzling pans and laughter from big groups. The menu talks up fajitas that arrive hot and steaming, burgers piled high with toppings, and those famous baby back ribs slathered in sauce. It all seems exciting, like a party on your plate. But reality hits when the food shows up. The fajitas might be lukewarm by the time they reach your table, with the sizzle long gone. The burgers look great in photos, but the patty underneath is often dry, relying on sauces to make up for it. And the ribs. They slide off the bone easily, but the flavor is mostly from the sweet sauce, without any real smokiness or depth. Chili's food can fool you. At first, the initial bite tastes okay, maybe even good. But as you keep eating, everything starts to feel too salty, too greasy, or just too much. It's like the excitement is in the presentation, not the actual meal. People return because it's family-friendly, with a loud, kid-approved atmosphere and big margaritas for the adults. The prices are a step up from some spots, so you're paying extra for the fun rather than top-notch cooking. Service can be spotty, with the focus on promotions like endless deals instead of careful preparation. If you're there for drinks with friends, it might work, but the food often becomes secondary. Those margaritas do pack a punch, though. So, what's your reason for going to Chili's? The fajitas? The ribs? Or is it honestly the drinks that make it worthwhile? Shifting gears, we come to TGI Fridays, a chain that once felt like the go-to for a lively night, but now struggles to keep that spark. Think back to when it first caught on: the upbeat music, the buzzing crowd, and appetizers that seemed endless. It was like every visit was a celebration. These days, though, the menu tells a different tale. The Jack Daniel's sauce, a former favorite, now comes off as two sugary covering meats that lack excitement. Mozzarella sticks might be okay if they're fresh and hot, but burgers often taste like they started frozen, with toppings doing most of the work. TGI Fridays built its name on fun and variety, but leaning so hard on old ideas has left the food behind. That endless appetizer promotion sounds great on paper, but after a couple of plates, it feels repetitive, like the same reheated items over and over. The prices have crept up, and service can drag, especially when it's busy. You're essentially paying for the brand and memories, not the current experience. Still, it can be a spot for cocktails or watching a game if the atmosphere is what you're after. The energy is there, but it doesn't always extend to the plate. The Friday feeling they promote fades quickly after the starters. Do you recall a time when TGI Fridays felt fresh and thrilling, or has it always seemed like dressed-up basics to you? Next, there's Olive Garden, the place that sells itself as a slice of Italy, but often delivers something far from authentic. The ads show happy families sharing endless breadsticks and pasta, with everyone smiling in a cozy setting. It looks like a warm escape, but inside, the reality is different. The pasta might be buried under thick Alfredo sauce that's more heavy than flavorful. But soon you realize that's mostly what they are: simple carbs, without much else. The salad is basic, often just iceberg lettuce with a light dressing that doesn't impress. Olive Garden thrives on the idea of abundance, with endless options that sound generous. However, that abundance doesn't make up for the lack of freshness. Sauces taste pre-made, and dishes feel more like comfort food from the heartland than true Italian fare. Prices can seem like a bargain at first, especially with the pasta deals, but halfway through, it feels like overkill without real satisfaction. Families stick with it because it's reliable, and filling you won't go hungry. Yet filling isn't the same as enjoyable. The chain relies on fond memories and the illusion of a special night, but it's more about quantity than quality. The breadsticks in good company might save the day, but the rest often falls short. When did Olive Garden last wow you? Or is it the bread that brings you back every time? Let's talk about Ruby Tuesday, the chain that once shone with its salad bar but now feels faded. Years ago, the big attraction was that vibrant bar-fresh veggies, toppings galore, and dressings to mix and match. It made eating out feel healthy and fun. Walk in today, though, and it's a shadow of that. The lettuce might be wilted, carrots bland, and other items looking past their prime. Beyond the bar, the menu covers the basics: burgers, pasta, chicken, and ribs. But execution is spotty burgers, overdone pasta without flair, ribs too sweet from the sauce. Even the cheddar biscuits, a past highlight, can come out tough and overly salty. The place can't quite decide what it wants to be: casual or quicker service, and that shows. The decor feels old, like it hasn't changed in decades, and the vibe is more quiet than lively. Prices sit in the middle, not cheap enough to overlook flaws, but not premium enough for a treat. You leave thinking about what you could have done with that money instead. Nostalgia plays a role. For some, it's tied to family events or milestones. But for modern eaters, it feels outdated, unable to match newer options. When's the last time you saw Ruby Tuesday bustling, or does it usually seem sparse? Moving along to Red Lobster, the seafood chain that used to feel like a celebration but now often disappoints. Growing up, it was the spot for special occasions: crab legs for birthdays, shrimp for achievements. It had that sense of indulgence. These days, though, the portions are smaller, with lobster tails tiny and shrimp chewy. Platters taste like they were frozen and quickly thawed, not fresh from the ocean. The one constant bright spot is the Cheddar Bay biscuits: warm, cheesy, and salty. They're a hit every time. But bread shouldn't be the main reason to go. The seafood arrives overcooked or swimming in butter, without the crispness or flavor you'd hope for. Prices add to the frustration. A meal for two can hit $50 easily, but the quality doesn't match. The atmosphere has dimmed to once vibrant with tanks and energy. Now many spots feel worn and quiet. Memories keep it going, like family traditions around the table, but the core experience has suffered from shortcuts. Do you visit Red Lobster for the seafood, or are those biscuits the true draw? Then there's Outback Steakhouse, with its Australian twist that once excited but now serves steaks that don't always deliver. It burst onto the scene with fun themes, big apps, and flame-grilled meats. The bloomin' onion was a showstopper. Crispy petals perfect for sharing. Past that, though, steaks can be inconsistent. Overcooked on the edges, cool inside. Seasoning is bold, but overpowering, masking the meat's natural taste. Sides like potatoes or veggies feel basic, not fresh. The place is noisy, but not always in a good way, more hectic than enjoyable. Prices are mid-range, so you expect better for $30 on a steak. It's predictable, which some like, but that means it's not evolving. The onion might still shine, but the rest lags. Do you head to Outback for the steaks, or is that onion the highlight? Hooters comes next, known more for its setup than its menu, where wings fall flat. It started as a unique spot with beer, sports, and signature wings. But the wings are often tough, sauced unevenly, to bland or too spicy without balance. Other items like burgers are forgettable, fries soft, salads minimal. The complement of cold beer says it all. Food isn't the focus. The gimmick drives it, with friendly service, but novelty fades. Prices around $30 to $40 feel high for the quality. Sports fans return for games, not meals. Have you gone for the wings, or was it the overall vibe? The Cheesecake Factory is overwhelming, with a massive menu that promises variety but delivers average results. The grand entrance sets high expectations, but the thick menu leads to dishes like soggy pasta or bland burgers. Portions are huge, but quality suffers from trying too much. Cheesecakes are the star flavors like strawberry or Oreo shine. By dessert, though, you're full. Meals for two can cost $70 to $80, more for the size than taste. It's tied to celebrations, but food doesn't always match the hype. Do you go for the mains, or just the cheesecake? Perkins wraps up the avoids, the diner promising comfort, but serving subpar breakfast. Open late, it offers pancakes, pies, coffee. But pancakes are rubbery, waffles soft, eggs inconsistent. Other dishes like chicken feel frozen. It tries bakery and diner, but neither excels. Atmosphere is dated. Prices $30 to $40, not worth it. It's convenient for late nights, but better at home. Do you choose Perkins for the food, or just because it's open? On a positive note, Texas Roadhouse keeps things lively with great steaks and rolls. You enter to music, peanuts, energy. Warm rolls with cinnamon butter are addictive. Steaks like ribeye are juicy, seasoned right. Sides are thoughtful. It's consistent, fun for families, fair price to steak dinner without compromise. Do you go for steaks or those rolls? Finally, Cracker Barrel offers nostalgia with hearty meals and a store. Rocking chairs, knickknacks set the scene. Breakfast shines biscuits, bacon, pancakes, done well. Lunch like chicken feels homey. Atmosphere is cozy, prices low, portions big. It's affordable comfort. Do you visit for shopping or the food? To wrap up, we've covered the casual dining spots that might not be worth it anymore, and the two Texas Roadhouse and Cracker Barrel that still deliver value and flavor. Next time you're out, think about what you really want from a meal. If this helped, give the video a like and subscribe to our channel for more tips on where to eat. See you next time.